Hey! Hello!
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
How is everyone?
I'm
All
good,
right.
but how are you, Alex?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, still a bit rough, but yeah, it's been coming on me 4 weeks now since I've had this illness. So just under.
Not nice to have.
I literally thought it might have been COVID, but I've been testing and stuff, and it's been all right. It's been clear. So, but
Yeah. Not great. Didn't go down well on your holiday as well.
No, I literally, my last day off work, Friday, was really excited for the weekend because I went to Brighton to start my holiday, and then we were going to go up to Devon on Monday. Saturday evening, Monday, that was it, ill. Then I was ill on the Monday, Tuesday, felt a bit better on the Wednesday morning. Then it went Pete Tong on Wednesday night, and then I lost my voice completely. And then I've had this cold, cough, shivers, and then I've had a cough ever since. And then when I got back, I went to the doctors, got some antibiotics, steroids. I've still got a cough now, and I'm still coughing up stuff. But it's not as bad as it was a couple of days ago. It's getting better. But then today I felt a bit rough and blocked nose again. So I hope it's just going to do one now.
Hopefully.
It's just been mainly just takes it out of you. I'm just so tired but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you back.
Thank
back
you
on
very much.
back on the YouTube, and hopefully you'll get a delivery of Spitfire before Friday.
Yeah, I hope so. Hope so. I have had a letter to say that it's here. Obviously, I've got a separate address for delivery, so that will turn up at work if they get it right this month. So, yeah, there is still time, hopefully.
Don't worry, because the same thing happened to me. I bought DS Models and Vintage, something from, well, when the Rootmaster was on sale, the circuit board, and I put down the delivery address as Dave and Christine's address, and it ended up coming here.
Yeah. Ian did similar. He got something for me on my behalf. He put my address down. It went to him, and then for 2 months running, my Spitfire issues, even though they were supposed to be coming to work, they were coming here. Like it all went all up the wall. And I rang them and said, "What are you doing?" They said, "Oh, it's all correct this end." And I said, "Well, it must be a warehouse error." But 2 months running. But this month I've had the letter here, which is separate from the package, because this normally is in with the package. So I think it is right this month. But
okay, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Right, so I'll go through the chat. So first of all, we've got Yorkshire Crafter. Good evening, everyone. So evening, love.
Evening.
Hi, Julie.
And then we've got Dano's Universe. Hello, everyone. Hiya, Dano.
Hi, Dano.
And then we've got Crafty Chris saying, "We are mobile on our way home. Good luck with the show." Hi, Christine. And hi to Dave, who's probably driving.
Hi, Chris.
And then we've got D. Harris saying, "Good evening, Alex, Mark, and young Jack."
Evening.
Evening, D. And then we've got D. Harris at Yorkshire Crafter. Good evening. And then we've got Yorkshire Crafter saying, "Evening at D. Harris." And then we've got Dave Mattbuild saying, "Evening, everyone in chat. Nice to see you back, Horlixs."
Thank you, Dave.
And D. Harris says, "Glad to see you back, Alex."
Thank you. Yeah, do you know what it is? It's quite nice to be back. I wish I was 100%, but yeah, no, I'm not better than I was, so it's nice to be back.
Then we've got D. Harris saying, "A good evening at Dave Mac." And then we've got JLD Dave saying, "Evening, everyone." Evening, JLD Dave.
Hi, Jordy. Hope you're okay.
And then we've got D saying, "Evening at Dano's Universe and at Crafty Chris." And then we've got Dave Mattbuild saying, "Evening, D." And then we've got evening D from Dano's Universe. And then we've got Dave Mack saying, "Also evening, Mark and Jack." So good evening, everybody.
Evening.
Lovely.
Right, so tonight's lesson is, well, it's lesson 11, which is temperature and humidity sensor. So let me just share my screen is that one. And make it bigger. Right, so overview. In this tutorial, we will learn how to use a DHT11 temperature and humidity sensor. It's accurate enough for most projects that need to keep track of humidity and temperature readings. Again, we will be using a library specially designed for these sensors that will make our code short and easy to write. So the components required is the Elegoo Uno R3, then a DHT11 temperature and humidity module, and then we're going to need 3 FM wires, female to male dew point wires. And here's a component introduction for the temp and humidity sensor. So you got one is the VCC, the 2 is the data, and then 4 is the ground. 3 is NC, which is, I think, not in use.
I was going to say, yeah, because mine's only got 3 pins.
Yeah, mine's only got 3 pins as well. So 3 is, yeah, I think that's
it's got 4 pins, but I don't know about yours, but it's soldered to another board, which then brings it down to 3.
Yes, that's what I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So DHT11 digital temperature and humidity sensor is a composite sensor which contains a calibrated digital signal output of the temperature and humidity. The dedicated digital modules, collection technology, and temperature and humidity sensing technology are applied to ensure that the product has high reliability and excellent long-term stability. The sensor includes a resistive sense of wet component and a NTC temperature measurement device, and connects with a high-performance 8-bit microcontroller. Applications are HVAC dehumidifier testing and inspection equipment, consumer goods for automatic control, data loggers, weather stations, home appliances, humidity regulator, medical and other humidity measurement and control. Okay, so this then just goes into some of the, the parameters of it, which I'm not going to bore everybody with. And here is tonight's schematic on it. So as you can see, we've got the data, the VCC, and the ground. And then this again is just the diagram of tonight. So basically, we've got the data going into pin 2. We've got the black wire going into the ground, and then we've got the red wire for the 5-volt power supply. So that's a bit like what we've got at the moment. So yeah, the question is, now we just need to sort out the code. So if I stop sharing that screen and share my other screen. Okay, so I'm not too sure. So I've been trying to work this out, and it's a bit. So we've got the DHT non-blocking H define DHT sensor type DHT type 11. And then we're telling it it's going into pin 2. Non-blocking DHT sensor, void setup. Now I don't know what the serial begin 9600 is.
So that is telling it to write to the serial monitor. So instead of using like an LCD, it's going to type the information to your serial monitor.
Okay, right, okay.
At a 9600 baud rate.
Right, okay, right. Thank you, Horlixs. So we've got the static tool, measure environment, float, temperature, float, humidity, and then got your timestamp. I think, oh gosh. Right, so this looks quite complicated.
So it's really interesting, actually, because obviously I have got this as well, but I've got an older kit. Same components, but my code is completely different.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I've got that on there. So if I come to me, I'll just change camera. Camera settings. I'm sorry, I'm a bit rusty for tonight. So here we have my unit, and I've actually just put the sensor in the air instead of it just being going off onto it, and just put my helping hand there just to help it. So let's upload the code. So it's compiling the sketch.
Have you included the library?
Yes, I've installed all the libraries. Uploading. Done uploading. So now if I go to tools and go to serial monitor. Right, why is that? Here we go.
It is over tab.
Yeah, so if I go back to here. So it's basically saying that the temperature inside this room at the moment that it's sensing is 25 degrees and the humidity is 29%.
Oh, well, that's good.
And it's just gone up to 30%.
You can also toggle timestamp.
Yeah.
Yes. So show timestamp. So there we go. It's now telling me the time that it's registering this.
Well,
So,
while you go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, just back onto what you asked earlier, Mark, what the 9600 means. If you look at the bottom, it says 9600 board. That's the board.
Right.
So I think that's just. I think most things use that actually. I think it's to do with like the USB connection or something.
Right. But yeah, that's quite. That's quite interesting.
Well, while you were doing that thing, obviously I built it before. I had no while you were talking. So while you were talking, I had it in my hand the entire time, and I got it to 80% humid and 36 degrees.
Wow.
In my hand.
But I mean, if you're, like Jordy Dave, who's got an allotment, that would come in very handy.
Yeah.
Very, very handy.
Yeah. Put in a greenhouse or something.
Yeah. I'm quite chuffed at that. There's nothing really to mess around with the code either.
No.
You can mess about with how it's displayed, I guess.
Possibly, but with it being specific, but it does, you can actually, that would be very handy for like a shed or greenhouse or workshop, or like Alex says he thinks he's going to do his permanent. But yeah, right. So that is today's lesson. So next week's lesson is lesson 12 is analog joystick module. So there we go, and that's just running now. Oh, Jack's trying to get his to go up.
It's on 88% humid now.
So suppose something like if I was to get a soldering iron and run that underneath it, the temperature would go up, but I wouldn't want to do that because that board will probably melt.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't think it has a cap, but yeah. Seems highest I can get is like 36. About 88% humid.
But yeah, that's really good. Like I said, I'm not going to mess around with the code tonight, but it's amazing how these small things like this just do it. Just get on with it, if you know what I mean. Just and by that code, you're able to do something like that. So fantastic. Oh, right. I'll catch up with chat. I can't remember where we got to either. That's how bad I am. I think this were. I'll go from where I think anyway. So Dano's Universe is saying evening D. Dave Matt Bills is saying also evening Matt and Jack. That's where we got to.
Yeah.
And then Dave Matt Bills is saying evening to Yorkshire Crafter. D Harris is saying evening at Geordie Dave. Geordie Dave is saying evening at D Harris. And Yorkshire Crafter is saying evening at Dave Matt Builds.
Awesome.
So there we go.
Right. So I'm gonna, you know what I'm like, I'm gonna edit all my code out. But before I do that, I wasn't gonna do this. I thought they'd be the same, but they're not the same code. Because I had an earlier kit than you, this is completely different and actually more complicated. So I will show off what mine looks like, and then I think I'm just going to wire it up as this says and show what mine does from my lesson before I edit it. So if I can work out how to use this. Right, here we go. So this is mine.
Oh my word.
Jeez.
All this, it's got the serial begin, which is the same, but then it's got all this other information and these calculations, and it's just nothing like what yours looks like.
My word.
So I think what I'll do is we'll wire this up. Now, this is the screen I left on it from the last lesson we did, so we can ignore that. I'm just going to plug my humidity sensor in. So minus plus data in pin 2. Okay, and then I'll upload this code and we'll see what happens, because obviously it's using a serial monitor. Oh, might help if I plug it in. So that's uploaded. So if I go to serial monitor, I'm getting all this. So I'm not quite sure what. How'd you pause it? Oh, auto scroll. So it says sample, yeah. Then it says read failed, which is what it's telling it to type, and I don't know why. Then it's showing the raw bits, but then it tells you the temperature and the humidity, and then it says sample okay. So this is how mine's working, which is completely different to yours.
Yeah, it is.
And we've still got the timestamps. So yeah, I think it's just just a different bit of code. So this is obviously using my serial monitor, and we don't want to do that, do we? We want to
use a digital display.
Yeah, I want to use my LCD screen instead of all this. We don't need half of this information. I don't want to know what bits it is, and I don't want to know what's failed and what hasn't. So, because there isn't a failure, I don't know why that's there. So if we go back to the code, it says start working, and instantly it's telling the serial monitor to print this and read failed. but I'm not sure why it wants to do that. So let's do what we do best and do some editing. So I want to add a screen. Now the screen is already added from the last when we did the proximity sensor thing. So I haven't got to do anything with the screen. So let's delete some of these lines out. We don't need that. This is just all the information that are commented. We don't need that commented. We don't need that. So first thing I want to do is include another library. Let me move all this out of the way. So I don't know if you can remember from last time, but I want to include the liquid crystal display, which is liquid crystal. Then we want underscore I2C .h. That C needs to be capital. Okay. Right. And then I also want to include wire, which is to do with the LCD screen as well. And we did all this on the last show. We want wire.h. Okay, and then we've got our pins and stuff. So we want to just above that, I would like to tell it where the screen is. This is all the boring stuff. Liquid. So liquid crystal underscore I2C. That's going to be LCD. And then 0 times 27, that's the pixels on the thing. And then sorry, that's the address. Sorry, the 027 is the address of where the screen is, and then we want to do the resolution, so 16:2. Okay, so that should be that's our screen connected. What we want to do then is we want to set up the screen. So for this example, there's a lot of stuff here that we don't really need to read out. So I'm going to just I'm going to leave the serial monitor there, and then I'm going to do LCD dot begin, open close brackets, semicolon, which will initiate the LCD so we can see what we're doing. So the loop, we can leave this as it is. It's just printing that and this. So this should print on our serial monitor still. Oh God, it is getting complicated. So we need to keep all this. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep all that because that failed thing, we don't need to report that to the LCD. Right. So down here, failed serial print. We can leave that. I guess we could actually delete that because we don't really need that, but we're going to do that. All I'm interested in is the data afterwards. So we'll leave all that. So this is where we want to change. So here I want to do LCD print because I want it to print the below, like the temperature and stuff. I'm going to take in that LN out. Just want LCD print. Okay. And then let's see. Oh, we're going to set the cursor. And I'm fully aware this is probably going over everyone's heads, but we're going to set the cursor to 0, 0, which is top line first character on the screen. Okay, and then we want to, I'll leave that. And then after that, I want to change this to LCD print rather than serial print, because we want to print this to the screen. And then I'll do LCD dot set cursor, and then we'll do that to 0 first character line 2, which is 1. Okay, and then we can then tell this to print the temperature. LCD print the temperature. LCD print C, and then we want to LCD print humidity, and then the percentage. So LCD print. And then let's get rid of, oh yeah, so then we can just set this delay to 2000. Let's give it a bit longer. And then let's see if this is going to work or not. So, let me just try and upload.
It will work, Horlixs, with you.
Okay, so it sort of works, but not quite how I wanted. But if I go now to tools and serial monitor, what I'm hoping to find, yeah, so it's printing all the gobbledygook that we don't need on the serial monitor itself.
Yeah.
So all raw bits and all this bits information and everything we didn't want. We could probably just delete them out, to be honest, but I didn't. It was just sort of to show you how this works. So if I come back to my display, we can now see on here it says sample OK, 24C, 43%. So if I hold this sensor now, we should start seeing some of those numbers go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
My hands, 95% humidity. I'm sweating. Yeah, and the temperature's going up as well. So that's pretty cool. So that is just, you know, taking some of that info and getting it to print it on here rather than watching a screen on the PC. So let's do a bit more editing because I'm not happy with that. So what we can do now, let me really get rid of that. Let's change some of this. So where that percentage is, I don't know what this is, and I need to look into it. You see where it says percent, and you've got these. Oh, the bus went past. There's these funny characters on the end, and I don't know what that is, but it just looks annoying. So to change that, I purposely left it. It's this line of code here. It's whenever it says LN on the end of it. If you just do it to print, then we upload that, you'll see they would disappear and I'll just get the percentage. So that's a bit better as well. And I don't want it to say sample either. There's a loose connection. I don't want it to say sample either. So to change that, we just look for that line of code that says sample OK, which is right here at the bottom. So what I can do is change this to temp and humidity. Get rid of that. Let's see how that looks. Upload. There we go. So now
Excellent.
we can see temperature is this side, humidity is on this side. And then obviously you can, do all sorts. How many lines have we got? 1, 2, 3. There's a loose connection somewhere. I think it's the earth. Oh. So, yeah. And then that's where we can change like the position of this. So that's just here where we set the cursor. So 1, 2, I've got another 2. So if I set this to set cursor to 3, line 0, and this one to 3, line 2, and upload, should shift everything over. There you go. That's a bit much. So let's just change that to 2. And then we'll do that to line 2 as well. That should make it a bit more even. Upload. That should shift it over left 1. There you go. That looks pretty cool. And yeah, that's sort of how you can add a screen to get rid of all the gobbledygook. And then obviously if we go back to our serial monitor, it's still displaying the stuff we don't need to see.
Right.
And this can just run in the Arduino. It's not doing it any problems. But I guess if there was a problem with this and there was a problem, you could probably then connect it and look at this to see if there's any more information coming up. But where we got rid of
So I've got a question then. So where it says at the top, read with raw sample data, and it says temperature 0, humidity 0.
Yeah.
If you put a 0.8 on that,
What, like that?
yeah, and then we change what it prints it to degrees Fahrenheit, will that change it? So just instead of a C, have an F.
Fahrenheit. It hasn't changed the temperature.
Or is the board only reading in degrees centigrade?
Maybe.
Ooh, that's a good question. So byte data, I'm not sure what that is. That will just do it whatever, because that's just printing what I could put anything in there. Yeah, no, that would need some looking up. Probably a very easy fix, but that's not in my realm.
Right.
Simple Google search would probably fix that. Yeah, because I'm guessing this is obviously, well, it's wanting to display, isn't it, in C? So
Yeah.
which has just changed. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, that's just a bit of a basic, well, sort of, just editing the screen. So we haven't really done a lot. All we've done is we've added the liquid crystal information, and then we've just told it, we've just swapped what we want to show on the screen from serial to LCD. And then, you know, what you want to print. So you can change this to anything. And then just where you want them to show.
Maybe to do it in degrees Fahrenheit, it would need a different library.
Yeah, it could be, because the library is the sort of the brains of it, isn't it? So
yeah, I'm just thinking that it might need a new library to do it in Fahrenheit.
But as you can see, I've got quite a lot of humidity in my room. You know, I noticed Mark had like 30 odds. I've got, this can sometimes go up to like 60 in here, which is why I've got a dehumidifier over in the corner. So, you know, this would be quite interesting to have. That's why Mark was saying earlier, it'd be good to have this as a permanent thing, just to like hang on the wall or something. I could print something to house it all in a micro, and then you can just like hang on the wall, and then I can keep an eye on this, and then I can because at the moment the dehumidifier is on all the time regulating it, but if I don't need it on necessarily, I can turn it off and just keep an eye out on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my bit for today. So I can hold that and make all the numbers go up again. There you go. Humidity's going right up. And that's just in my hands. 81%. Temperature slowly going up. So yeah.
Awesome.
I've just seen a comment here. I'll do. Could you slow down the screen display instead of every 5 seconds? Can it be done to give the temp to 25 minutes or half an hour or longer? Yes, yeah. So you would just do that down in this delay here. But obviously, if there's a sudden temperature change, so what is? Well, hang on. 5,000 is 5 seconds, so it's going to be. Oh God, what would the delay be? So it'd be 30 minutes. That's 5 seconds. So 60,000 would be a minute.
Minutes into milliseconds is come on. From minutes to milliseconds, 1,800,000 milliseconds.
What? 1,800,000. It'd be like that then, I think.
You'd need 6 noughts on the end.
Okay, let's see what that does. It might not like it. Oh no, it does. Okay, so we can't really prove this fact right now. But if I now hold, that's uploaded and it's working. So if I now hold this, we shouldn't see any change. Yeah, I'm holding it and nothing is changing on the screen. So yeah, that's how you do it. So in half an hour, that will change. So if I carried on holding this for half an hour, temperature would probably rocket right up, and so would the humidity. So yeah, it can be done. But it's probably better to have it on refresh every sort of 10 seconds or so to get an up-to-date reading. But
yeah,
that can be done. So you see I'm holding this and nothing's changing. But if I edit this code while I'm holding this, I'll do it off screen. If I put this back down to 2000 and upload, we should probably see that percentage jump right up. There you go.
Yeah.
88. So yeah, it's just all about the delay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's what I've got for you.
Fantastic. So I'll just catch up on the chat. We've done that one from D. So Steve131 says, "How do, young man?" So hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Steve.
And then we've got D Harris saying, "At Steve131, how goes it with you?" Steve says, "Hello, D. All good. Should be on the World of Wayne again tomorrow with merch on the map." I was still shocked you came into my live stream on Sunday. World of Wayne. Jay's channel says, "Good evening, all. Hope everyone is okay and well. Nice to see you, Horlixs. Just sat down. Been a busy day decorating. Good luck with your show." Thank you, Jason, and good evening.
Thank you, Jason.
And then we've got D Harris saying, "Very good, Steve. Still modelling away. Best thing to be doing." And then D Harris says, "At Jay's channel, good evening." And Jay's channel saying, "At D Harris, hiya." And then Dave Mac Build says, "Great show tonight, guys. Thank you, Dave Mac."
Thank you.
Well, that has been quite interesting. Really, because it's something we all could use in a rack, like you said, Horlicks, having it permanently wired up and, keeping an eye on the temperature and the humidity of the room. Yeah. So it's definitely something to look out for. I'd probably like you though. I'd want it on an LCD screen so that I could see what it's doing.
Well, obviously, this is so inexpensive to make. If you were to buy something like this for your room, what would it cost? 40 quid, probably 30, 40 quid. I don't know what you can get them for. You build your own. That sensor's probably pence. An Arduino Mini is what, 3 or 4 quid, and an LCD is about 2 quid. You got yourself a monitor for under a tenner. Yeah, there we go. But you buy these fancy ones, they're probably a lot of money. You get some clocks and things with all that in, and they're a lot of money. So just a bit more chats coming before we probably get off, because been a busy day. So D Harris says, "At Steve134, I meant, are you still modelling?" So fantastic. Right, I don't know what else to say. It's just good to have you back, Horlicks, finally. Yeah, no, it's been good. Got back into it, and took me a minute to get back into the swing, but it's good fun. I do like playing around with these. Yeah. I'll do the schedule quickly then. So tomorrow evening we have got the craft and quiz hour. That is at 7 p.m. That'll be on Yorkshire Crafter, Crafty Chris, and Horlixs Channel. Are you going to try and be there, Horlicks? Yeah, I should be. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to hear a little yay probably coming from the other side of the wall in a minute. So, Friday. Now, I presume if you get delivery of Spitfire, you're going to want to get on that, aren't you? Yeah. It's got a yay. Friday. Yeah, it should. Well, potentially, yeah. Yeah, if I get parts, I can't see why not. Yeah, but obviously it depends, because we'll have to just see what comes in the delivery. I know some people have had different deliveries to others. So until I've actually got them in my hands, I can't comment. But yeah, if I got the parts, then yeah, we'll look into it.
Okay. Right, so hopefully there will be something on Friday. We just don't know what it's going to be yet. And then Saturday we'll have DS Models and Vintage live at 8 p.m. With probably, he says, his Red Route Master. And then Sunday I'm doing the vlog again because Geordie Dave's busy working. So that'll be 6 p.m. And then we've got hopefully Dano's Universe at 8 p.m. And then Monday we have got the Disney Dolls House at 7 p.m. with Crafty Chris and Yorkshire Crafter. Tuesday it then is going to be Crafty Chris with the Eddie Stobart at 8 p.m. And then Wednesday we'll be back round to us for the Arduino show. So yeah, busy week.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll just catch up with this chat and then we'll say goodbye. So D Harris says, another interesting stream, gents. I'll see you next week for the next one. So thanks, D.
Thanks, Dave.
D says, night all in chat. And D Harris says, at J's channel, at Dave Mac, night both. And then Dave Mac says, night D. So Jack, do you want to do your goodbyes first?
Yeah, thank you for watching. Please make sure if you do enjoy the streams to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future streams. And yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you next week.
Okay. Alex?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Good to be back. I hope you enjoyed that and I didn't baffle you too much. It is pretty straightforward, really, once you know, but obviously it's here on YouTube. So, if you fancy a go at one of these, just follow what we've done.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, thank you for watching. See you on the next show.
And I'll just say it's a goodbye from me. Thank you ever so much for watching, everybody. And yeah, it's good to be back on with the Arduino show again and back on with Alex, which I know a lot of people have missed. So I'll catch you on the next one, and it's goodbye from me. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.